If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. We've got a balls up in the San Fernando Valley. That's the official word that DWP is using. And they said this morning, we apologize for the balls up. But we have water that you can't drink. You got to boil your water if you have water in those areas. And if you want free water, there are 3 areas where you can go, or 3 parks you can go and line up for water. But they screwed up. They went to replace I think a valve, an old trunk line, 24 feet below the surface of the ground. 24 feet. And they went to turn the valve on, and the valve was like, nope, I'll give you 20%, and that's it. And the pump doesn't operate on 20% water. You know, like for instance, if you have Crozier, you know what a sump pump is? You know those old pumps you plug in for water?
Sure.
And, you know, if it gets down to the bottom, it doesn't pump any more water. It needs to have a certain amount of water.
Yeah, it's got a little float that's attached to it. And once that float hits a certain level down, then it won't work anymore.
Right. That's what's going on here, where, you know, they can't get enough water into the system to pump it into all of the, the surrounding businesses and the homes and the hotels. And so they've shut the water off for about 1 billion customers. 1 billion.
And regional partners. We are hoping to restore water service with an emergency repair.
Mayor Bass. Mayor Karen Bass, I believe, yes.
We are hoping to restore water service with an emergency repair much quicker than the permanent fix will take. Make no mistake, this is an emergency repair. The timeline is dynamic, and we will keep you posted. I want to again thank the expert DWP workers.
Which one?
I want to again thank the expert DWP workers.
Are there any out there? I thought those are the guys that put in the bad valve. You're thanking those guys? Is that what I'm hearing?
I want to again thank the expert DWP workers
for having water shut off to 9,800 people
who have been working tirelessly on this issue.
I know it's hot for them. I get it, but somebody messed up. Somebody messed up, or they bought a bad valve. That's possible. That's possible as well.
In terms of immediate response to help those impacted, this morning the city opened 3 water distribution centers. More than 11,000 cases of free water have already been distributed, and staff are on site to continue providing free bottled water to residents. We have activated the Emergency Operations Center to coordinate the city's response, and in anticipation of ongoing high temperatures, we have pre-deployed firefighters, fire trucks, water tankers, and fire helicopters.
Wow, man, they really got spooked by those fires in January. Now it's the Marines are here, the Air Force. We got 2 Coast Guard cutters coming in, 3 aircraft carriers. 900 soldiers. It's a water valve. But man, did this city, the people who run this city got real spooked.
Yeah, can we get those 2,000 National Guard members back in here? Maybe we can put them to use there.
Yeah, right. Maybe they can drive around their Humvees and throw water at people. That's possible.
We have
towels like Trump. Here you go.
We have pre-deployed firefighters, fire trucks, water tankers, and fire helicopters to make sure any emergency is quickly handled. Public works and infrastructure are the backbone of our city. You saw it when we repaired the freeway. You're seeing it here. I want Angelenos to know that we will always do whatever it takes so that their daily lives are not disrupted.
I don't know if anybody believes that. Do people believe this?
I want Angelenos to know that we will always do whatever it takes so that their daily lives are not disrupted.
I'm going to stay on high alert on that one. I'm going to stay on high alert that that's not always true.
Residents should visit ladwp.com for information about where to receive assistance. To conclude, I want Angelenos in Porter Ranch and Granada Hills to know that city crews are working around the clock on this issue. Late last night, the councilman and I made it very clear to our general managers that this needed to be fixed immediately, and that in the meantime, we will do all we can to support families that are impacted. That includes our seniors and those who have disabilities living in the area. More information will be available soon, and we will provide it when we have it. And with that, I'd like to introduce the councilman from the area, Councilman John Lee.
Okay. All right. Before we get to John Lee, let me tell you what's affected here, because this is a wide area. This is not a small area. This is, let me bring the map closer. Hold on. There we go. Okay. It is Porter Ranch all the way out. It goes all the way north to the 5 freeway, all the way to the 5 freeway and down around the mountainside through Granada Hills, through Porter Ranch. And I can't tell where the west end of this is. I'm trying to get a bigger picture. Oh, here we go. Okay. The west end of this is the area affected is Rinaldi Avenue to the south, it looks like, Balboa to the east, and then it goes out. It looks like it goes out to DeSoto to the west and the foothills to the north. So it's the hills up in the north, DeSoto, which is a huge area, DeSoto to Balboa, massive area. And nobody has water there. But that's Porter Valley Country Club is in that area. All the homes surrounding that area. You've got Porter Ranch. You've got Granada Hills. All that area from the foothills. DeSoto on the west. Balboa and the 5 freeway on the northeast. And then the 118 freeway. The 118 freeway is the southern end of that water shortage or water outage. Okay, now let's hear from the councilman and see if he has anything to add about 9 billion people being out of water.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I just want to thank the mayor, DWP, and all the emergency first-line crews for everything they've been doing, all the hard work they've been doing around the clock, as the mayor mentioned. Right. So as the council member who represents Granada Hills and Porter Ranch, I want to acknowledge we understand the seriousness and how disruptive the situation is for our community. Since this issue began, my office has been in constant contact with Department of Water and Power and the mayor's office and our emergency response teams to ensure that our community's needs are being met, especially for...
You know what would be real refreshing? If this councilman came out and the mayor came out and said, hey, gang, we're going to have a quick press conference here. Just want to let you know the city's falling apart. We've got old trunk lines. We've got the DWP that are putting in these crappy valves. We don't know whether the guy who made the valve was wrong or it was installed wrong, but this is going to be a nightmare for today, tomorrow, Friday, and maybe till Monday. So we effed up. We're sorry, but the city's falling apart, and here's a good example of it. Wouldn't you love to hear that? Right? Guy come out and be honest. The city's falling apart, and we'd have no control over it. That would be great. But no, they thank each other. They pat each other on the back. Oh, you guys are so great over at DWP. Oh, the mayor's great. Oh, the council's great. Everybody's great, but nobody has any water.
Especially for our most vulnerable residents.
And the mayor is revisiting using the term Angelino.
Oh, I noticed that. Yes. And they're barely Angelenos out there. I mean, they're very close to Saul Augustins out there.
Especially for our most vulnerable residents and critical facilities. Last night, Mayor Bass and I, as she mentioned, alongside Los Angeles Fire Department leadership, coordinated to ensure a strong, proactive response to this developing situation. In preparation, we have strategically pre-deployed water tenders at local fire stations to ensure that our first responders have the resources they need should emergency calls arise. Additionally, I instructed LAPD to increase patrols in the high fire severity zones throughout the district. So, in light of this incident, it's essential that we stay ahead of any potential threats.
Yeah, you know what? These people are just praying that there's not a fire out there. They are praying to God that there is no fire from DeSoto to Balboa 118 to those foothills. Because if there is, guess what also isn't working? The hydrants. The fire hydrants. They're not working as well. So they are not going to have an easy night sleep tonight. All right, we'll pick up more at this. This is a big, huge catastrophe in the Northwest Valley. Welcome to Los Angeles, everybody. Hope you enjoy it.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
So we continue with this water outage in the North San Fernando Valley, and it's not good. It's not good. The water's out for a lot of people, thousands and thousands of people. From the 118 south, that's the south border, to the foothills, Granada Hills area, Porter Ranch. And then from DeSoto to Balboa, all the way up to the 5 freeway. Okay, what does it mean? No showers, no pool water. Sorry. I know a lot of people own pools there. You can't top it off. There's no drinking water. There's no water for the dogs. There's no water for the lawn. There's no water for anything. And the fire hydrants are dry. Dry. So this could be a potential catastrophe. I think everybody who lives in that neighborhood has to be on call tonight. If you see a weirdo running around your neighborhood causing damage or potentially, lighting fires, you've got to be proactive because there are lunatics that live in Southern California. The Valley has its share as well, and they're everywhere. But you got to be proactive. I know the cops are going to be out tonight. Fire will be out tonight. DWP will be there. But you also have to make sure you can't rely on anybody in this town. You have to make sure you're driving up and down your streets and you announce that if you see anything suspicious, you make your voice heard tonight. Because this is going to be an ugly situation for the next couple of days. They may not get water until Monday. They're looking at Friday, which would be great. But they also said maybe Monday. Maybe Monday, which is horrible. All right, let's get back to this. There's an extremely important, huge story in Southern California. And it just so happens to be happening right now in the North San Fernando Valley without water. All right, this is the councilman member talking about the water outage.
Let me make this perfectly clear. Any attempt to take advantage of this emergency will not be tolerated. We are prepared, and we will hold those people accountable. As you've already heard, LADWP has established water distribution sites at Holly Burnson Park in Porter Ranch, O'Melveny Park in Granada Hills, and at the intersection at Tampa and Cessnon.
Okay, did you hear where you can get free water? Free water. And I don't think they're going to limit you. I think you can pull up and get as much as you like. But here are the 3 areas and the 3 places you can get water tonight to bathe, to drink, and give it to your dog.
At Holly Burnson Park in Porter Ranch, O'Melveny Park in Granada Hills, and at the intersection at Tampa and Cessnon. These are open today until 7 p.m. to get water.
7 p.m.? They should be open 24 hours. 7 p.m., where are people going after that? There's hundreds of cars in line right now. You're going to give everybody water in an hour and a half? That's not going to happen, and they're going to be pissed. I'd stay open later if I were them. I'd stay open until, I don't know, maybe until the emergency's over. How about that?
Additionally, Shepherd Church in Porter Ranch is also opening its doors to impacted residents to also offer water and restrooms. If you or someone you know needs water,
I totally blew it. It's not just the fire hydrants. It's not just the drinking water or water for your lawn. It's the toilets. No water for the toilets. This could be grim by tonight. I think we all have to go. If you live in that area, everyone's got to go into the, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, figure it out. I think that's the saying, isn't it? Figure it the hell out. Yeah.
please don't wait. Go now or reach out to my office, and we will do.
Wait, was he talking about going to the bathroom? What was it?
If you or someone you know needs water, Please don't wait. Go now or reach out to my office, and we will do everything we can to assist. And I just want to make sure everyone knows, as this...
Okay, while we're watching this disaster, there's been a complete ground stop of United flights. United flights have been grounded, and we're getting a picture of Los Angeles International. Bellio's on this case. We don't know if it's national, international, or locally, but United Airlines, if you're flying out of LAX on United Airlines, or perhaps if it's national, if you're going out of Burbank or Orange County, United Airlines has a full stop right now. So if you're on your way to the airport and you were unaware of this, now you are, and another reason to keep it on KFI. We've got two big stories going on. We come back, we'll finish both of them, or we'll keep you updated on both of them. The water outage up in Porter Ranch, Granada Hills area, the North Valley, from DeSoto to Balboa to the foothills to the 118 freeway. That's a big story. And then a minor story, unless you're taking a flight, then it's a major one, an outage of United Airlines. And we'll come back, we'll tell you how big that is. Lots going on a very hot day in Southern California. You need to keep it on KFI.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
We've got the water outage up in the Northern Valley. We'll get back to that. But we also have a big story nationally here. It's coming out of San Francisco, but it affects everybody. United Airlines flights have been grounded across the country today, this evening, because of a technology issue. Somebody's computer went down. Flights out of San Francisco International in California halted. Also, it affects Houston, Texas, Denver in Colorado, Chicago, Ronald Reagan, everything. Due to technology issue, they're holding United Airlines mainline flights at their departure airports. And we expect additional flight delays this evening as we work through this issue. That's a quote from the company. Quote, safety is our top priority, and we work with our customers to get them to their destination, close quote. The company's also replying to users, I should say, on social media, complaining about delays. So it says, we're sorry for any inconvenience caused. We are aware of the system error, and our teams are working to restore things and have you on your way. They apologize for the disruption, but it's a national, maybe international. So if you're going to, LAX or Burbank, Long Beach, Orange County, Ontario, and you're flying United, chances are you ain't going anywhere. All right, back to the water outage in the North Valley. This is not good. This is not good at all. This could be a catastrophe, and we're trying to avoid one by letting everybody know, keep your eyes open for weirdos. This is the press conference that happened about a half hour ago, and there's more information to get to you.
I'm going to like to introduce our CEO and Chief Engineer, Janice Quinones.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Councilmember Lee. Thank you, Mayor Bass, and all the city departments for your leadership and the support during this incident response.
I think this is one of the spokespeople for LADWP.
I also want to recognize our crews and our labor partners and thank them for all their hard work. We have been in this incident since after yesterday afternoon, and we are working around the clock to make the repairs as fast and as safely as possible. We know that putting our customers first is our highest priority. It's your highest priority, and we're taking this very seriously. So what are we doing now?
That's the big question. That's the $10 million, $64,000 question.
So what are we doing now?
That's right. Let's find out.
So what are we doing now? We have crews at multiple locations and are working very quickly and safely and looking at technology to make repairs as fast as possible to move water into the part of our system that has been impacted. We are taking multiple approaches. Number one, we have a contractor on site that is going to connect thousands of feet of hose and high-velocity pumps, working with our crews to move water from a nearby Metropolitan Water District supply into the 54-inch trunk line supplying the area.
Okay, that may or may not work, but they're trying to skirt around the pipe that's broken right now, or the valve that's broken. And so they're going to try to put thousands of feet or thousands of yards of major hoses, not like the ones you use at your house, but major hoses to try to get water around that so they can get it back to you, your toilets, your showers, your fire hydrants, your sink, your pool, your bathtub, and your lawn. And that may or may not work.
They are on site and work has begun, and they expect to start pumping around 6 to 7 p.m. this evening.
Okay.
If they are successful, we may be able to restore water service in the next 24 to 48 hours to the whole area. At the same time, our crews are working to remove the valve that failed to restore water flow to the tank.
Okay, and there should be an investigation on why that valve failed, whether it was improperly installed or it was a bad valve from the Southern California Valve Company, where they bought that from.
The location of the valve is 24 feet deep, and the repairs are very complex. They have been working since last night, and this morning they found 2 oil pipelines, active pipelines, a gas line, and large boulders that have complicated our excavation efforts.
Oh, what a nightmare. You got 2 active oil lines, a gas line, and boulders surrounding this valve that they're trying to replace. What a nightmare. And those guys are working out there. It's 100 degrees. 100 degrees. And you got to be careful of the 2 oil pipelines that are flying through there. And I don't know why those aren't shut down. The gas line that's pumping through there, and boulders. And all you need is one spark, and good night. So, God, pray for these people, that everybody's okay out there.
Because we cannot use heavy equipment until those lines are clear. We're working with the owners of those lines to clear the pipelines so we can continue the excavation.
Okay, so they're going to try to shut down the oil lines, the 2 oil lines, and the gas line before they can bring in heavy equipment.
Once the lines are clear, it will take us about 14 to 16 hours to get the area shore up, so that we can start repairs. Because of the complexity of this evolution, the permanent repairs to the pipeline could extend over the weekend. We have a tremendous amount of resources.
That's not a good sign.
Extend over the weekend.
It could extend over the weekend?
Could extend over the weekend.
That usually means Monday.
We have a tremendous amount of resources committed to this response, and as one of the largest water utilities in the nation, we have in-house capabilities and can expedite this work because we don't have to contract the work out. So we're performing our own trenching, excavation, and repairs, and that it's allowing us to move faster. Now, a very important message. Affected immediately. For the customers located within the affected areas, we need you to boil your water.
Okay, this is very important. If you're in that area, from the 118 freeway north to the 5, Balboa on the east, and DeSoto on the west, you have to boil your water before you use it. It's very important.
For the customers located within the affected areas, we need you to boil your water. After we lost pressure, we can introduce contaminants into our distribution system. So even if you have water in this zone, we ask you to boil the water if you're going to use it to drink, cook, make ice, prepare food, or brush your teeth. Please do that until we tell you it's safe to do so. We are working with our water quality teams to ensure that we bring the water quality in the system as fast as possible, and we can lift the boil water notice.
Okay, so this also means if you have a tank, a water tank, a heater, water heater, that has to be emptied before you use that as hot water, because that doesn't get to boiling temperature. And if you have an ice maker, you got to empty out all your ice, because you don't know if that ice was made after the water was contaminated. So you got a lot of work ahead of you, and it's going to be a long couple days. And we're going to give you as much information as we can.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
We have a potential catastrophe in the Northern Valley. And it could happen. We hope it doesn't. But there's no water to any part of that community. Granada Hills, out there, Porter Ranch. And it's DeSoto to Balboa, the 118 to the foothills.
1 billion people.
Yeah, we're 9 billion. It's up to 9 billion people now. Bellio just had a great observation.
Of course she did.
I like to give her credit for that.
Yeah.
How about all the restaurants that are in that area?
Ooh.
You know?
Whoa.
They can't stay open.
Yeah, and are they going to be supplied with water as well?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But also other businesses, cleaners, any business, actually, that most businesses use water.
And not even to mention like what you had said before about in homes, but bathrooms, toilets.
Yes.
So even if they can't cook, people and going into the office to work.
Yep.
Bathrooms.
And what's going to scare the hell out of most people are the dry hydrants tonight. Until those hydrants can be, filled again with water and reactivated. A lot of sleepless nights.
I guess I was, maybe you can clarify from what you had played earlier from the LADWP rep was saying that there will be some water that is available, but it needs to be boiled, to be used, anything like that. So everybody will still have some access to water, or there's certain areas that will have some access to water, but that water will need to be boiled because that would play a big difference in things.
Yeah, from what I understand is there's no water available now, but because that valve was only pumping 20% and they had to shut it down, that there was some contaminants that got into that line. And so whenever that line starts activated again and you get your first initial hit of water, I think that still has to be boiled.
So nobody has any water right now.
Right, nobody.
At some point when this valve or whatever gets fixed, the initial part, however long that time's going to be contaminated water.
Right, and the hose lines that they're going to try to reroute the water around this broken valve. Those aren't. I imagine those aren't approved for water that's safe to drink. Those have to be pumped out as well and cleaned out as well. I would be careful with your water. I'd boil everything.
Oh my God, yeah.
But this is one of those cases, Crozier, where if you have a 100-gallon tank water heater, you have 100 gallons worth of good water you can use.
Oh yeah, right. The benefits.
You can take that out. There's a hose spigot on most of these tanks. Oh, I think all of them. And you can with a key you can open that up, or with a wrench or a screwdriver, you can open that up and use that water. Because
untouched.
Yeah, and shut the obviously shut the heater off, the heating element off, and you have 100 gallons worth of water that you can use. While the disaster is going on. But we also have breaking news coming out of United Airlines real quick, and then we'll get back to the water. We got a lot going on here. You got to stay with us. We got too much going on.
We have breaking news.
United Airlines.
We have breaking news right now as we look live at LAX. United Airlines across the country on a ground stop. That means no aircraft are going to be taking off until they deal with a computer issue. The issue has to do with their weight and balance computer system. There's something wrong with the technology. It's not working, and that is a critical system that determines whether an aircraft has been properly loaded and balanced. An aircraft that is out of balance and or improperly loaded is in real trouble and in real danger. They're not going to let them take off until that happens, until that's taken care of. Any aircraft that are in the air will stay in the air and continue to their destinations. Regional carriers operated by United are not affected. But these planes that you see right now, probably not going anywhere until they get that computer system fixed.
Okay, that's an important part of this story. Regional airlines that are not United.
Any aircraft that are in the air will stay in the air and continue to their destination.
Okay, that's important. If you're in the air, you're fine. If you're listening, you're on United Airlines right now and you're in the air, you're fine. You're fine. It's the flights that haven't taken off yet. And the regional airlines are not affected.
Regional carriers operated by United are not affected. But these planes that you see right now, probably not going anywhere until they get that computer system fixed.
There you go.
Yeah, United is saying, kind of like what you said, I guess it's the same thing. They specifically said they're holding United mainline flights. So right. I guess that's the same thing as what they're saying is like if it's one of their smaller, regional flights, it's not affected. But
well, I think when they say regional, I think they, because all these airlines have deals with other airlines right now. Like if you book a ticket on American Airlines to Denver or to Portland, you might be on Alaska Airlines.
Yeah.
And so they're unaffected. But if your plane says United on it, I think you're affected by that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and that's and I don't know when they're going to fix that, but that's going to be a long night for United passengers as well. You might be spending the night at the airport. All right, when we come back, we can start now. This is the presser that they had with the LA Fire Department and the LA Police Department with that big water outage in the northern part of the San Fernando Valley.
And now, LAFD Chief Ronnie Villanueva.
All right, here's the chief of the fire department.
Good afternoon, all. Your Los Angeles City Fire Department has taken proactive measures to ensure public safety response to the disrupted water supply affecting Porter Ranch and Granada Hills communities. This domestic water system also supplies our fire hydrants. To maintain firefighting readiness, we've pre-deployed additional resources strategically positioned in the affected areas of Porter Ranch and Granada Hills. 2 3-engine task forces totaling 6 engines, each carrying 500 gallons of water. 2 2,500 LAFD water tenders. 1 additional water tender from LA Park Rangers and 5 water tenders from DWP. We also have additional resources if needed as far as our air resources. We have relay operations to shuttle water in if need be. We have helitankers on a contract. We have our 5 water dropping helicopters. That heavy tanker drops 2,600 gallons of water. We have operations of relay, siphoning from pools, so we're ready and prepared. I also want to thank Mayor Bass, Councilmember Lee, and other city leaders for their collaboration and swift action towards this matter. Simply put, we are committed to protecting lives and property and remain fully prepared to respond to any emergency during this disruption. Thank you.
Okay. When we come back, we'll hear from the LA Police Department and the long night that they're going to have patrolling that area and looking for burglars, arsonists, and other weirdos that LA has to offer. And there's a lot of us. There's a lot of weirdos. A lot of people in LA are odd. And you want to keep them out of that area because the fire hydrants aren't working. And the toilets, and the sinks, and the ice makers, all of it's out. All right, we're live on KFI AM 640. Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.